Rachel, my name is Tiffany, and in this video I'm going to show you 3 things you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. So most likely you're sitting there asking yourself, why would I be doing this and what's in it for me? Well, oftentimes in the world of the internet, most local business owners are too busy running their business to learn how the internet can benefit them and their company. And sometimes the only hesitation they have when hiring someone is they don't know who is an expert and who isn't. So I have found by giving people an easy free attack plan of actual things they can do to impact their business for free has resulted in some of those local business owners still raising their hands and saying, "Hey, I like you, Tiffany. Can you please do this for me?" So if by the end of this video you've liked what you heard and you can see that I have a lot of tips and tricks up my sleeve that can help your business, shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or if at the end of this video you simply want to take this free attack plan I gave you and do it yourself, that works for me too. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So the 3 things I want to cover today are content, citations, and backlinks. First up is content, which is basically anything that you can see on your page that I can highlight, including your pictures, what the pictures are saved as, which here you can, this one's not pulling up, but this one, it's saved as the name, so that's great because Google can read that. And also what's behind the pictures can all be considered content. So all of these things the search engine can read, and it basically gets an idea of what services you offer and the areas you target. So, and why that's important is because Google obviously isn't human, so they can't physically see what's on your site. So they need as much content as possible so that they actually know what your site is all about and they can recommend your site to others. So on average, Google likes a minimum of 1,500 words of content. And the more unique authoritative content you have with enough keywords or key phrases that people use to find that specific service, the better Google knows what you do, which means Google feels better showing your site to others. Now, I plugged your website in over here and it's showing that you have 163 words of content. Now let's go check out one of your competitors. This is their site. Beautiful. Has a lot of content on it, you can see. So I plugged theirs into yours and they have 1,490 words of content, which is really close to that 1,500. So what you would need to do is you would want to get that to 2,500 through 3,000 words of content. And like I said, doesn't always have to, or doesn't just have to be words on the page. It can be what your pictures are labeled as and things like that. So now I'm going to open up this Ahrefs, and Ahrefs is a tool that I pay a few $100 a month for, but essentially it gives me behind the scenes details that Google is looking at when it comes to ranking a site. So I ran a quick scan on your competition here, and here are the keywords that they're ranking for, so you can see it's quite a few. So it's 324, and they're ranking for Boise photographers, search volume 90, position 6, Idaho landscape photography 50 and 3, photographer in Boise 50 and 7 position that they're looking at, Boise photographer, which is 30 search volume a month, and they're in position 8 for that. Boise family photographer, it's running 70 search volume a month, and they're in position 15 for that one. So when I go over to your site, you can see that you only have 4 keywords. So this means that Google knows that it's you're advertising, or not advertising, but they know you by your name. It just must be a misspelling somewhere on your site. And they also know that you're a photographer in Boise. So you too ranked for the Boise photographers, which has great search volume, but you are position number 54 in it, which, I mean, isn't the greatest, but that is very you can get that up by adding these keywords into your site. So if we come up here, and you were already ranking for this word, so we're going to come down here, Boise Family Photographer, that was another high one, and we're going to pop this in over here, and it brings up your map pack. So this brings me to the second thing I want to talk about, which is called citations. Now you might be asking yourself what a citation is, and that's a great question, because citations have a lot to do with this section here, the map area or the map pack. Now a citation is essentially your business's name, address, and phone number, also known as NAP, listed in various directories all throughout the web, and that's how Google verifies and gives relevance to your local business. So you might be asking yourself, what is a directory and how do I get in those? So to put it simply, Yellow Pages, Bing, Google, local.com, and so many more, Facebook even. So any of these places, you can go online, and it allows business owners to add their business details and services within there. That would be considered a directory or a business directory listing. In order to rank high on the maps here, you would need to make sure that you're looking at your competitors' directory listings and seeing what they're currently being listed in, and you want to try to go out and get yourself listed in there as well. So now you might be saying to yourself, well great, but how do I do that? Well, it's really simple. We use sites like WhiteSpark or Bright Local that will tell us exactly what directories your competition is listed on. Then we can literally go down their list and match what directories they're on. But we don't just want to stop there, because we don't just want to match them. We want to dominate them online. So if your competitor has 100 citations, we want to get what they have, then add 50 to 100 more, so it takes them a while to try and catch back up to us. So now we've already covered content and citations. The last thing I want to cover is backlinks or link juice. So once again, we're back here on this page. This is the keyword section, and we're going to drop below the map pack. And you can see that your site is not listed on here, and you want your site to be up here, listed up close to the top, because 50% of clicks comes from this area. And so in order to get to that area, you need to get authority. So how do you get authority? Well, it comes down to backlinks, and a backlink is when one website links to another website online. So think of it like this. You have site A over here, and it's linking to site B. So then site A is giving site B some of its link juice or help. So it's kind of like a vote of confidence, and in Google's eyes, this is passing authority. And the more relevant the site, the more valuable the link. So let me give you an example. If you get a local blog or industry site linking back to you, then that is fantastic. But say you're a photography company and you got a backlink from, say, Domino's, that's not so great because you don't sell pizza, right? So let's go over here to Ahrefs. So here's your site. You have 48 backlinks. That's not bad, but you're not dominating. And so let's go back over here. This is your competition, and they have 100 site links. So they have just barely over double what you have. So once again, how do we get these? Well, with Ahrefs, we can see exactly what sites are linking to them, and we can go get those same links for your business. So if we just clicked on the backlinks, we can go through here and see which one is relevant that you would need, and we can get these backlinks for your site as well. So getting to the top isn't magic, it's just a method, and I've shown you that method today. So once again, we went over content, and so you need to add like 2,000 or so, 1,500 words of content to your page. Citations, you want to have 200 to 300 of these to beat out your competition by a landslide. And your link juice, or backlinks, you need more relevant sites pointing at you guys to show Google you are the authority. And if you implement these strategies today, you can be #1 across Google. So that's pretty much it. I hope this video has been educational for you. You can either go with this information I provided you today and do this on your own, and I am completely good with that. However, if you want the most effective route and want to save yourself the time, you can give me a call at 208-598-4501. Once again, my name is Tiffany. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a wonderful day.